Hello, welcome to Physics 1415, Physical Science, and it will this fall online course. I am Denver McMurray, otherwise known as Mr. McMurray. I'm not really a Professor McMurray or Dr. McMurray. I have a master's degree and I'm adjunct faculty, but anyhow, people always call me that, but that's okay, not really. Okay, it's just Mr. McMurray. Anyhow. Um, Welcome to the class. This is just a video to tell you a little bit about how the class is set up. I think it's going to be fairly brief because it's hot outside, about 107 degrees, and you'll get this tomorrow and access to this anyhow. But I'm going to try to send an email tonight so that you can kind of get a little heads up on it. Okay, here's how the class will basically work. All right. First of all, you will log into the home page here, and it will come up with this. If there's any announcements, they'll be up here at the top. You have the home page here. Here's the different chapters or units we'll cover. Over here to the right, you will see in blue things that are coming up. So these are assignments that will be due soon. It's not always perfect. You're still responsible for it, even if it doesn't pop up over here. But usually, I think within a week or so many days, if it's due, it will pop up over here. Okay. First of all, it says there. See if there's a video to see how to use the web page. That's basically this video, so you can't click on it yet because I haven't made it yet. But that's kind of tells you a little bit about how the class works, and that's what I'm doing here now. All right. And there's a place here for the syllabus. All right, and if your syllabus, it says fall online. All right, there's my name, there's my email address if you need to send me one. Office hours. Basically, since we're online, it's mostly by email, but certainly send me an email. I am not one of those people who are constantly checking my email, but if you get me an email, I usually try to check a couple times a day, and I will get back to you as quick as possible and try to help you out. Okay. This course will be mostly physics. The second half will also include chemistry, geology, and other things, kind of the non-life sciences. But this one will be mostly physics. Now, maybe good or bad news, depending on how you look at it. The good news is it's mostly conceptual. In other words, we're going to talk about how the physics works. I want you to understand it more so than doing a lot of math. Some people like the math, some people hate the math. So you can either rejoice or weep, whichever way you prefer. But we're not so much concerned about plugging in the math and doing a lot of math problems as much as you understand the relationship between the things in the formula. All right, we'll talk more about that later. Okay, now the textbook, this one for the first time this year comes with a built-in textbook called The Physical Universe, which was probably chosen primarily because it is built in. Okay, that's the good news, I guess. The bad news is that obviously I've already prepared all my materials and lectures using different books. So I try to make my lectures where if you watch the video lectures and then you watch, there's a demo and lab lecture that goes with each chapter. That's what we would have done if this were a hybrid course and we were in place one day. That lab demo video is what we would have watched or what we would have done in person. And so hopefully by recording that, then you get the effect of that. Okay. And the idea is that if you watch those videos, it should have all the information you need to pass the course. Okay. But there will also be some other labs. They're trying to want us to do some pivot interactive labs. And so that's kind of an experiment. It will just be on the module, just like all the other labs. And when you click on it, it will take you to pivot, but I don't think you'll have to log into it or anything. It should just take you straight to the activity. You watch the videos, answer the questions, and submit it. And hopefully that'll be easily done and painless. But since anytime you do something for the first time, it's usually neither of those. So we'll see. But we'll get through those one way or another. Okay. Now, like I said, the textbook here is not the same as what we have been using in the past, and it is. It seems to me, anyhow, a little more math-oriented. It doesn't cover exactly the same topics. I mean, it covers the same basic topics, but obviously different books are going to cover a little bit different things, okay? So I would like to recommend that you may be able to do it without having to worry about the textbook. I mean, like I said, it's designed so that you can watch the videos and the demos, and you know the stuff you will need to pass the material, all right? But I like having a textbook that you can check on. But like I said, I don't know if this one will. If you find that the McGraw-Hill, which by the way is over here on the side, there's a button. Let me find my cursor. There we go. McGraw-Hill Connect. If you connect that, it will take you to the textbook and you can read the chapters. If you find like, for example, the first 3 chapters that we do will be from chapter 1 of that book. But like I said, they may not correlate. If you find that it's not correlating, I would recommend getting this Conceptual Science Explorations, the 2nd edition. It's out of date print now. It's by Hewitt Sochaki and Hewitt. I think the second Hewitt is the daughter of the first Hewitt. But anyhow, it is a very helpful book, and I would recommend it if you feel like the McGraw-Hill's not helping as much as you would like, then I would recommend getting this one. I said it's out of print, but you can usually go online, find an old used copy, usually very cheap, and I think it'll be very helpful for that. Okay, so if you feel like you need that, then you can certainly get that one. All right. Now, the grading for the course, slightly different this year, but not a whole lot. You have 4 exams, which will be 65% of your grade. You will have 5 exams. The first one over 4 units, this next one over the next 4 units, and then the last 2 will be over 3 units, just because we got 14 units, so they can't come out all evenly. All right. The 4th exam will count as your 4th exam no matter what, but in order to keep everybody motivated toward the end of the course and working hard, if you do better on the 4th exam than you did on one of your first 3 exams, you can use that grade to replace one of those grades. Okay, and that's just kind of keeping everybody going toward the end there. All right. Now, this says, I just noticed 35% of your grade will be based on lab. Well, that's already 100% of your grade. That should be 25%. I will change that before we send this out. But okay, so 25% of your grade will be based on the labs, the pivot labs, and also the lab questions off the demos that I do, okay, and have done. All right, and so that'll be 25%, and then the other 10% will come from summary articles. We'll have 2 articles that you have to summarize throughout the course, and we'll have 1 that's extra bonus, extra credit at the end if you'd like to. Also quizzes. We'll have a quiz on every chapter, and there may be a few other miscellaneous daily work, but for mostly that will be your daily average. Okay, all right. Notes. I'll talk about this a little bit, but there are notes posted, but they're more of an outline, and I've kind of redacted or blotted out all the important words. But if they will help you to kind of get a feel for the notes, and if you left something, feel like you must have missed something because there's a section of the notes that didn't say anything about this stuff, they may be helpful. You can try that. Certainly, I think the best thing you do is take your own notes as you watch the videos. Okay, if you have late work, usually there'll be some kind of penalty. If you turn it in at 12:01, it was due at 12. Well, I may not count off for that, but obviously, if you turn it in the next day, then there will be some penalties for that. All right, but I know also some people are working jobs, etc. So I will try to be lenient, but like I said, usually some penalty if it's late. Class schedule. I did this just by the week, and because my in-person class meets on Tuesday, I did it for the Tuesday of that week. But whatever. Okay, this just tells you the units that we're going to do each one. Here's 1 through 8, and here's 9 through 14. Okay, and final exam date. All right. Once again, there's the 4 exams. Quiz. Well, we'll get to that in a minute. We'll talk about when and how long you have to take the exams here in a little bit. Okay. Summary papers, you can read about those. There'll be 2 of those. I'll probably make an announcement about those in a couple weeks when I feel like people are maybe starting to think about those. And then once again, here's your grade, schedule, integrity policy, the American with Disabilities statement, and hope statement. You can read those for yourself. All right. Let's go back to our home page now. And just if you're going to use this and do assignment stuff, how are you going to do it? Okay. Well, you can click on the modules over here. There's also the grades where you can check your grades. Okay. But I've kind of set this up so that you can use it from this page. Okay. Here, like I said, here's the video, explains how it will be done. There's where you can click on the online syllabus. There's also a place where you can click on a copy of the syllabus that you can download. If you like having a paper copy, I tend to do that myself. Then you have the buttons. The buttons are supposed to be 1 through 7 and then 8 through 14 on this side. But on my computer, at least, the first time I look at it, it looks great. The second time I go back to it, it does this. Okay, so sorry about that. We may, just keep in mind they go in order. If you don't know your Roman numerals in order, then I'll bet you can find someone to help you with that. All right. But the quickest way to get to a chapter or whatever is to click on the link for it here on the front page. All right, although this is just the module page, you could go to the module page and it would take you to the same spot. First of all, there are some course introduction stuff here. One is introductions, which I just want you to tell me a little bit about yourself, why you're taking the class, whatever else you may think I want to need to know. Since I won't see you in person, if you want to send a picture, that's fine, but you don't have to. Some people are camera shy, it is whatever. Okay. Then you have an academic integrity policy, which basically you just have to say a thing, click on a thing saying I won't cheat, and another online student statement which says I won't use the internet to cheat or something to that effect, and boom, you're done with those. But don't forget to do them. All right, then it goes by the units. Okay, the first one's Intro to Science. Occasionally you may see chapters. Don't worry about chapters or units. It's kind of the same difference. We're not using the book that had these chapters in them now, but they're still the units, and we're still doing it in kind of the same order. All right, first thing you always see is notes. The notes are not actually complete notes, okay? They're kind of a rough outline, these sort of thing with all the important words. Either the important word with no definition after it or vice versa, okay? But just kind of give you a little, yeah, these are things you should have hit when you took your notes so you can kind of check yourself against them, okay? And they are in either Microsoft Word document, if you would like to, somebody would like to type theirs in, so you can do that on that, or they can be in PDF if you're trying to download it on some other device that might be easier to look at. Okay. Then there are the lecture videos. Okay, the lecture videos for each chapter. There will be different numbers of them. In this case, there's only 2, lucky you, and they're usually about 15 minutes apiece. That's why there's usually 3 or 4, maybe 5 even, because they're only 15 minutes long. Good news is, hopefully that won't be long enough that you'll fall asleep in the middle of one. And if you do fall asleep, you only have 15 minutes to scroll back through to figure out where you fell asleep at. Okay? But yeah, this is where most of the information and the teaching and so forth is going on here. Okay? That's the heart of the, if you were coming in person, this would be the lecture you would be hearing. Okay? Now, since we don't have an in-person one where we can do labs and stuff, in most chapters, I'm going to skip down here to this, you will have and now I can't, okay, I'm on the wrong thing. Okay, but there will be a section here that says, after the videos, it will say Newton's first law, demos, and lectures, or demo and lab, something like that. And if you look at that, then it will show me actually doing some of these labs and demos to kind of help explain it. It will also hit a lot of the high points of the lecture, but not the whole thing. Okay, so you need to read the video lectures, and you need to do the lab and demos. Okay. Now, there will also probably be on some of these, this is the first one, or the second unit, and it has a lab, and this would be what the pivot labs will look like. And like I said, you will click on it, and it's going to take me to a page where I can grade it because I'm the teacher, okay? But if it were you, it would take you to the lab, and you would see the video. Usually it shows you something on video, and then it asks you some questions over it and stuff like that, okay? Like I said, those are new, so we're all going to be learning that together, and hopefully it will work very smoothly, okay? All right. The first unit, which is the Intro to Science, is a little bit different because it has, besides the lectures, it has some different miscellaneous assignments here, 3 assignments that you'll have to do and turn in, and then there will be a quiz. All right. Most chapters, once you get that, you have the notes, you have the videos, you'll have the lab thing, and then there'll be some lab questions. Now, they're called lab questions because they include the information you learn in the labs, but they're also cover the lecture. So it's the lectures and lab questions together, but they're going to be grouped under the 25% lab part of your grade, so that's why they put there. All right. And that's usually pretty much what you will start seeing after a while. Okay, you get the notes, you've got the videos, you'll have the lab videos, then you'll have the lab questions, and you'll have the quiz. Okay, and so what most weeks will look like is that we have a new chapter, you're supposed to watch the videos and the lab demos. Okay, you do that. Once you do that, then the questions will be due by Saturday of that week. Saturday, Sunday, or Monday, you can take the quiz. So you can take it on Saturday before the questions are even due if you want to. If you're ahead of time, you get your question turned in early, you can go ahead and take it, the quiz on Saturday if you'd like. Okay, and then, the questions are then. Quiz is usually then Saturday, Sunday, Monday. On those weeks where we have exams, it will be that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of that next week that you have to take it. So it's up to you whether you want to take it early in the week, get it done with. If you want to wait till Thursday night, don't recommend going at 11:30 because there's 50 to 70 questions. You need time, okay? But you can do it as early in the week as you like or not of that next week, okay? And that's kind of roughly how those work. All right, and that's pretty much what you'll find through all the rest of it. Now, you've got your notes, you've got your lecture videos, then you have the demos or lab videos, and then you have the questions, and then you have a quiz. And that's pretty much the routine it kind of gets into. Okay, let's go back to the home page then. First of all, on the questions, the lab questions, they are graded primarily as a completion grade. In other words, you tried to answer it, came up with the best stuff. I kind of scan them, but I'm mostly grading if you did it. It looked like you put a serious effort. Yes, if you just kind of scribbled garbage down, I will notice that, and you may not get credit for it. But I'm basically checking to see if you tried to answer it. Now, the question is, though, you need to know if you got the right answer or not. So on Sunday, since they're due on Saturday, I can't post it on Saturday. So I'll post it on Sunday morning, usually sometime. And that will be down here where it says study materials and exams. Okay, if you click on that, there will be a category where it says study materials for exam number 1. Click here. And if you click there, these will have links that you can click on and you can give the answers to it. And you can check your answers to see if you understood it or not. Okay, I highly recommend that. Now, notice you can take the quiz on on Saturday. And if you want to, that's fine. But if you want to check your answers, you're going to have to wait till Sunday or Monday to take your quiz. So that's up to you, okay? But those will be posted there, okay? And then the other thing, it has a link which just takes you to the module, to the test, exam number 1 or exam number 2, and so forth, okay? But those are the study materials. Those are the correct answers to the questions so that you can grade and check your own answers, basically. All right, so you're kind of responsible for that. Other than that, I think we're getting pretty close there. You have the article button. Like I said, there will be 2 articles that you have to summarize, and there will be a 3rd one that you can for extra credit. If you go here, it clicks you to the rocket article. If you click here, it'll take you to the microwave article. And then there's some optional ones. There's about cold. There's a part 1 and a part 2. You don't do both of them for extra credit, but if you want to, you can do part 1, or you can do part 2, one or the other, not both. And you can do that for extra credit. Okay, but we'll talk more about the articles and what needs to be in them and how to write them later as we get on into the course. All right. I think that's most of the highlights. Obviously, if there's anything you have questions about, you can always email me and let me know about that. Looking forward to having a great semester and glad you're here. So welcome to the class.